Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyaye sifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lesiZulu bese sizala sokhuluma ngazo le ndaba esifundile. Senzela laba phela basuke bengenaso isikhathi ukuthi bayifunde incwadi nalabo basuke benqena nje ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese sizala sokukhuluma ngawo lama shows. Senze ama reviews ama recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga any other issues avukayo mangabe lama shows sesiwabukile ku TV. If it's your first time joining us and you happen to like our content, please like our content, you guys, before you subscribe, because we do not like people who are here but they complain all the time. Oh my god. That's one of my boyfriends into Tina. We can't stand you complaining all the time. Anyway, you guys, if you like our content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi bese uyaphinda futhi press the notification bell eduze kuka subscribe because phela uthola umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Kanjalo uma ngabe ufuna ukuba a member of the channel, there's a join button below. There is also a thanks button if you want to thank the channel ngemali as a once off. Kodwa ke nama adverts akhona, you guys. If you watch an advert or two, you are supporting the channel. Kanjalo keep le adverts ivele la ngezansi. If it's not distracting to you while you are watching the video, just leave it there because it makes a contribution too. So thank you so much to all those who are supporting the channel. So guys, today we're doing episode 9 live with Kelly Khumalo. We did not do the last 2 episodes, but if there's any information here that I watched in the last 2 episodes, I will talk about it kule episode len. We all know in the last episode there was that issue. Remember when Kelly Khumalo went out with her daughter Thingo ingane kaSenzo Meyiwa, and she was saying she gets calls from the teachers at school in besho ukuthi umntwana ngathi akekho happy at school. It's one of those calls ezingabi mnandi when you get it as a parent. And but she sleeps a lot in class and she doesn't I guess I participate as normal. And one of the things that came up in their conversation with Thingo was that Thingo really wants to go to the school that Christian is going to. She wants to go to a school that her brother is going to. One thing with the younger siblings, guys, they always want to be closer to the older siblings, but it's not necessarily the same with an older sibling. A lot of the times you feel like you want your space. Naga, it was both ways. I hated being in a school with any of my siblings. I remember the first time that I was in the same school with my older sister. The one who comes before me was when I went to do grade 8 and she was doing grade 12. I hated it. I wish that they could even take me to a different school. I just hated it because for me, especially when you have many siblings, you feel like school is your space. That's where you are yourself. You are recognized as just you, and then wena usisi kabani futhi, mawenza icala, they go call your big sister. I hated that. So the same way when my little sister came, I was in grade 10 and she was coming to do grade 8. I hated it. I wanted to be moved to a different school or for her to go to a different. I hated it, and I hated being that big sister that always get. I've told stories about my little sister because she was a naughty child. She was a naughty child at school. So then when I'm Mdletshe, what's this Mdletshe, when ugange kanje, now sengiyabizwa class, So I hated it being. So for them also it's like that. It's like Thingo wants to be in the same school as Christian, but Christian not necessarily. He just feels like they should be in different schools. It's not like he doesn't love his sister, but I guess he's feeling that thing that he just wants his own space. So when this episode begins, I think Kelly is very lucky to have Umawake still so fresh and active and so able to help her with her kids, because she's talking about the fact that she wakes up every day at 5 o'clock when the schools are open so that she can make sure that the kids are ready for school and they go to school and all of that. They talk about having a driver, so I guess she goes with the driver when they drop the kids at school and then comes back with the driver, and then when they are picked up does the same. She's very lucky, you guys, because there isn't the best person to take care of your kids is your mom. Is your mom. If you buy from work and your child has a scratch, it's a scratch that they would have got if you were there too. Unlike when it's someone else, like you get suspicious sometimes. So the grandmother is having a talk with both of them. She was sleeping during the day, and also you guys, ingane, like especially that age, they don't really like taking naps during the day. So it worried me a little bit about Thingo, like for a child to just want to take a nap in the middle of the day. And I really think it's something that they need to pay attention to, because nowadays kids go through depression while we as parents don't know. There was a time when I was a little bit worried about my son because he was just in his room all the time. We actually had to take a computer away from him so that he can spend some time just outside the room. Now he watches more TV, so we actually get to see we see more of him, because he'll be coming out of his room. He will just come out, make his food, go to his room, and then he's on his computer, and then he's sleeping. And then I was like, no, I won't be able to see if something is going on with him. So sometimes when kids are sleeping a lot, it is a worry. So I think they are justified in just checking. So they're checking on her, they have that conversation. She still reiterates she would like to go to a Christian school. A Christian school is very nice. The playground, the tennis court, all of this, the classes are nice. And when they ask for Christians' opinion, Christian says she just thinks that there's nothing wrong with siblings going to different schools, but obviously the adults will have to decide what happens with him. Ugogo is clear in saying that isikole sika Christian is very expensive. Apparently, he has issues with concentration, so he is regarded as a child that has special needs in that way. Guys, special needs doesn't mean disability. Special needs can mean anything, like you struggle to concentrate in class, and maybe even you struggle to hold a pen a certain way. There is a special need that you need extra attention in that particular area. And because of that, because Kelly was getting that feedback from the teachers, she had to decide, what, let me go look for a school that is sorry let me look for a school that will meet his needs. But that school is very expensive, and she didn't have the same concerns when it came to Thingo, so there was no reason to change Thingo's school. And yeah, you guys, but Ukoko decides also that she's going to have a conversation with Kelly about it, because now she feels like Thingo is not happy. So maybe it's a possibility if the imali corner, because Christian school is very expensive. If imali corner, then they should change Thingo school too. Okay, the next scene, it was the Wanda thing. I was interested in this one, you guys, because in the last episode, Kelly Khumalo with her publicist had this conversation where they're trying to set Wanda up on a date. So today was the day. This episode was going to be the day of the date. So I was interested in Wanda coming in this episode. But in this scene, they're just talking about what they're busy with. Apparently, Wanda is busy with business. She's doing something in construction. She says it's a family business. And Kelly's just trying to find out how come Wanda doesn't sing as much. Apparently, because she is a jazz, award-winning jazz singer, why is she not singing as much? She doesn't seem to really have an explanation for it, except she got busy with other things and her singing took a backseat. But it's not like she's saying she does not want to sing. So they do end up making an arrangement that Umondli, who's supposed to be here in Durban, is waiting for them to come and work on something. So they're going to come together and come up with a day where they're going to come down to Durban so that they could work on music. And yeah, Wanda seems excited about that. They also started talking about her journey in Wanda trying to have a baby. Apparently, at some point, she had cysts on her ovaries, and the possibilities, she was told that there was no possibilities of her having a child naturally. So if she was going to have a child, she was going to have to look at other options like IVF and all of that. And she has recently made a decision that she will go through IVF because she does want a child. And they just talk about that. She's going to have an appointment that week, I guess, whichever week that they were shooting. And Kelly promises that she's going to be there. And in the diary session, Kelly was talking about just her as a friend. Would say she tries to be a supportive friend to her friend. She's there when she's there, but once it's over, it's over. And we all know once it's over, it's over. Because where is Tammy? You remember how they used to be so buddy with Tammy. And then the next scene, she's at the studio. There is Umtunzi. Umtunzi is this young artist who's supposed to be her writer. They're writing a song. And that artist was introduced to her by Umondli. So it's just them being at the studio working. One thing about Kelly and this show is that you will see her work. You will see her working. She is working a lot, you guys. And then they finally got to have that conversation in the next scene with her mom about Thingo. Kelly says the same thing. The school is expensive. Not only is the school expensive, the process to get the child to the school is a lot. I guess if they had thought about it at the beginning of when they were moving Christian, then it would have been easier for her to just go through that process like with everybody, and yes, with both the kids, so that because she says they have to fill in the forms, meet the principal, meet every single teacher in that school, and then the child goes through an interview, and then they go and see a psychologist, and then the child also has to spend a few days in the school to see if they are suited for the school. So she says that it's a long process. She has to go through a lot if she has to do that. So I just thought it would have been easier if from the beginning they just did their process for both Christian and Thingo. But again, she's promising that she will try, and I guess maybe if she feels like she can afford to have both of them in the same, I hope that she can. It will be great, but at the same time I do feel a little bit for Christian, because there is her space now just being in that school, and she doesn't have to be responsible for his sister. It's just her, it's just him. So yeah, I feel a little bit for him. So I get finally Wanda goes on a date. Now I was like, yazi kodwa Kelly Khumalo nabo. Now when I saw that guy, I was like, this is not a Wanda Baloyi guy. I was like, this is not a Wanda Baloyi guy. I don't know what guy. Listen, he's dark. I don't know if he's tall because he was sitting down, but he is handsome. But he looks very young and very reserved as well. Too reserved, for someone like Wanda. Like when she said she needs a man. Like I was like, girl, I understand exactly what you're talking about. You need a man. I don't know how to explain it. I would have known if it was, but it wasn't that guy. He's a very sweet guy. Shame. He was very respectful. A conversation here where you could see what Wanda is trying to fit into, the things that this guy is trying to talk about. But that is not a guy for Wanda. Shame. That is not it. That is not a guy for Wanda. But I mean, honestly, sometimes when you're on a date and you're like, this is not the person, you just try and enjoy whatever it is, like the conversation, whatever. But honestly, she said she was upset about it at the end. I understand, because there was not a guy. I don't know how they chose that guy. But I guess it was the first blind date for her. Maybe they will plan another one, and then finally it will work for her. Anyway, that was the episode for today, you guys. It was great to have an episode where it's not actually all about Senzo Moyiwa's case, because honestly it's like when it comes to Senzo Moyiwa's case. So we might as well not talk about it all the time, because there's no movement forward with that case. It's just us talking about the same thing, therefore all the time. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers.